Hi, I'm Hadley Pierce, a former Paducah Bank Teen Ambassador, and welcome to Paducah Bank Teen Ambassadors Wowing the World. Over the past 10 years, more than 400 students have been a part of this program, and in this series, we're reconnecting the Teen Ambassadors from the very beginning all the way through today to see what they're doing now, where life has taken them, and how they are continuing to wow the world. So let's get started. Today, I'm joined by Britney Mansfield, who is part of our very first Teen Ambassador class. Britney, it's great to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so you were part of the very first Teen Ambassador class, and what was that experience like when the program was just getting started?
I remember I was in middle school and my sister texted me and she said, hey, there's this new thing we're doing at the bank. It's called a Teen Ambassador program. I know that you're good with social media and you love being on your phone, so hey, how about you do this and see if you like it? So I said, you know what? I've got the time for it. Let's give it a shot. And I ended up absolutely loving it.
So since graduating high school, what has your journey looked like?
So I graduated in 2021 and I decided to go to WKCTC for a little bit and get my associate's degree prior to going to Murray State. And then I went to Murray State and achieved my bachelor's of social work, and I graduated in May of 2025. Since then, I just decided that it was time to get into the workforce, and I found a career job that I ended up really loving.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you are working kind of with foster care. What has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, so I work for a private foster care and adoption company. It's called NECO. I absolutely love it. I started working there in June 23rd this past year, so I'm getting close to being there for a year. I absolutely love all of my coworkers, all of the kids that are in our program. We are a dual program foster youth, so we don't just have children who are, kids before they're 18. We have an additional program, which is our independent living program, which houses the kids who maybe don't necessarily get to return back home to mom or dad. They don't get adopted and they have to emancipate out the system. We absolutely do not want to think any of those kids are ever forgotten. We have a program where they can enroll in the independent living portion, and they are housed in an apartment. I help them get enrolled in school. We find a job, a credit line, a car, anything that you really need to establish your adulthood.
That's awesome. What would someone have to do if they were wanting to be a foster parent or help out with something like that?
Absolutely. So we have a Facebook page that you can go and look at, or you can call us. It's 270-898-1293. And you would ask to speak with our licensing specialist, Amberly. She would then sit down and then give you the general idea of what it's like to be a foster parent and give you the insight of it, answer any questions that you might have. Since we are a private foster care and adoption compared to on the state level, we are able to give a little bit more of some therapeutic training and care. With that, we also open our homes a little bit faster than the state, which, you always want to have homes for beds because the kids are never going to not need a bed to sleep in at night. Yeah. There's always going to be a need for a home, a safe place, just a place where a kid can feel loved. And so we like to pride ourselves on knowing that we can get that home open anywhere between 3 to 9 weeks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you love most about what you're doing right now?
Honestly, I would sit here and I would say the kids.
Yeah.
I love that I think I have around 10 or 11 kids on my caseload right now. Each of them are so different. Yeah. Everybody has such a full and blossoming personality. And with being a case manager at NECO, we're all required to have a blended caseload of foster youth as well as independent living kids. I do have a good 50-50 split, which I absolutely love the independent living program. So I love being able to have, the little 5-6-year-olds who are going through school and we're getting everything established, to sitting down with my 20-year-old who we're getting ready to discharge from the program. Let's establish a credit line. Let's make sure that you have health insurance outside of when you leave the program, and I absolutely love all the responses and life stories and just getting to be a part of everyone's day-to-day life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So outside of work, I hear you have quite the mix of pets. So tell us a little bit about that.
So everyone likes to joke around and say that I have a zoo, that I probably shouldn't, but I do. I have a cat, a dog, and 2 axolotls.
Oh, that's so cool. Susan was saying she didn't know what that is, but I know it's like...
it's like a fish lizard.
Yeah, it's kind of like an underwater lizard kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I've got an English Mastiff. She is 8 months old. about 80 pounds and too big for her own good. I've got a Maine Coon cat who is quite large and flurry, and I love her. And then the two axolotls, I named them Scrim and Ruby. One is black and his eyes glow in the dark, and Ruby is pink, and in black light she turns white.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. So you also enjoy taking weekend trips. Where do you like to go, and what do you like to do when you're on your time away?
So I'm big into sports cars and bikes. Several of my friends, we try to go to different events and things like that. This weekend, I think we're going to Carbondale if we're able to, if the weather lets us. Different race events. There's shows for it. You can win awards, trucks, bikes, cars, SUVs.
That's cool.
It's really fun. I like the adrenaline.
That's awesome. So our last question that we always ask is, how are you continuing to wow the world?
I would have to say that it would be my job. I like to think that I wake up every day and I know that when I lay back down at night that there's at least one life that I made a difference in. If it's not directly, it's through advice or a phone call that I was able to help and talk through something.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.